Hey everybody, welcome back. Kim just did a weird wave thing that we didn't plan. Now she's doing a weird like this thing. I guess it's like supposed to be like impending death. Oh, Dark Order. Okay, cool. Hi everybody, welcome back to Kim and Dory and Kim's Halloween Spooktacular. I do realize that it's November 10th at the time of recording. It usually takes us a little bit to get around to it. But yeah, here we are. We are. You don't have to congratulate us for anything, by the way. We were at somebody else's place. We broke it in, and we are stealing everything. No, we're watching their dog. So it's not our place.
And if you want to see can we see a show the dog?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
This is Gizmo. I call him Gizzy, and he has rank breath.
He is so stinky.
Oh!
We couldn't have planned that.
Did you must?
God, what did he do?
He sneezed in my face.
I'm still getting over a cold. Anyway, we're here to talk about horrifying things like what we just saw right there. That's the transition. Today we are here to talk to you about 15 different movies that we watched in 2021 for Spoopy Month. We watched a lot of good movies this year. Last year we watched a lot of bad movies.
Yeah, definitely.
But this year, but the ones that were good were really good. And then this year we did kind of a reverse where we watched a lot of good movies, but the bad ones were
really, really, like not good on the eyes.
Yeah, not good on the eyes, exactly. So we are just going to start from the top and work our way down. And then after we're done with our list, we'll talk about the two movies that were horror themed that we saw outside of the list. And then we will talk about my top three, Kim's top three. And then after that, we will talk about what we are going to watch for 2022. Same deal as it always is. All right. First, we watched The Mummy. No, not the one with the amazing and excellent Brendan Fraser. We watched the original Mummy. Kim, what did you think?
I mean, it was an original, right? So, I mean, it was okay. I wasn't like, it's a classic, but I don't know. It was okay. I'm used to, I've seen The Mummy Returns probably 1,000 times, and this movie is nothing like The Mummy Returns, obviously. But your turn.
I'm trying to like pat her on the stomach. This again is another Universal Monsters movie that we watched because it's a classic, like Kim said. It falls into the same problem of being incredibly slowly paced. That said, the acting is pretty decent. The main character, am I confusing this with the Wolfman? But isn't the main guy kind of a creep? Kind of a bit pushy?
I know the Wolfman, that guy.
Yeah, that guy was pushy. We'll get to him. I got what he deserves. But anyway, it's okay. It's decently acted. The plot's not bad. The special effects are decent, especially for the time. I mean, honestly, they hold up okay. There's not a ton I think I could say about this film either. Just like Kim, the way they defeat the mummy. Do you remember how they defeat the mummy?
No.
They like summon this ancient spirit or ancient power or something, and the mummy just suddenly dies or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember.
That's the problem. I can't really remember much of the movie, so it's like highly unrememberable.
Yeah, it's not very memorable, and I do remember vaguely the way they defeated the mummy was kind of weird. But anyway, we don't really have a lot to say with the mummy. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't that great either. What's
Gizmo
up?
just bit me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was licking the floor, and I went to pat him, and he bit me.
Oh yeah, he gets possessive about things. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, we didn't plan for that either.
Sorry.
He doesn't usually. He's bit me once as well when I was. I forget what I was doing with him. I think I was trying to take something from him. Anyway, don't know. But he's a small dog, so it's not a big deal. Kim will be fine. Unless she turns into a... Damn it, this would have been great segue for Wolfman, but we're going to get to Wolfman later.
I'm not going to turn into a chihuahua.
You're going to turn into a Sinister? No.
Is that the next movie?
Yes. Sinister was great. Sinister was one of the best movies we watched. I felt like they really delivered on everything this movie could have been. The acting was great. Ethan Hawke is great in this.
Yeah.
The family actually does some logical things in this film. as opposed to like a lot of other ghost haunted house stories. The villain was scary and intimidating.
Well, that's the thing. We didn't know who the villain was.
Right, but the only and there's a whole mystery about it too, which is very interesting. The only issue with this film really is that the fucking villain's name is well, I guess I won't give it away for spoilers, but the villain's name is just silly. It sounds lame. It's made up, so they didn't have to use it. They didn't have to use it like they did. They could have chosen a different name. But for some reason, the director or the writers or whoever thought this was a very scary name. To be honest with you, I don't even remember what the flipping name was. But like every time they said it, I snickered or I laughed or it took me out of the film. It's a minor gripe. It's a nitpick, you know. But it does take me out of the film. Kim, any thoughts from you on this one?
I like the plot, and then the twist at the end was great. But yeah. Not much else to say. It was actually, I was looking forward to this movie, but I was also scared to watch this movie because I heard it was the most scariest movie of like the 20th century or something like that. But
and I told her, I was like,
21st century.
Everybody says that about horror movies, you know. So it's not really new praise for something. Oh, it's the scariest movie of all time. Like people say that about everything. But yeah, it was great. I didn't have a lot of huge problems with it besides the naming convention for the villain, which I thought kind of took me out of the movie. Besides that,
I wish I could remember it.
I wish I could too. But really nothing to talk about, nothing to complain about. A good plot. You know, a lot of it had to do with like the main character kind of like losing himself to greed and like turning into something that he didn't want to be. And like it had kind of a Twilight Zone twist at the end in a way. It was just really well done. Really well done. So Kim and I both like it. We probably won't watch any of the sequels because they all sound terrible. All right, next we watch Invisible Man.
Oh, yeah. This was another classic, and I didn't mind this one. It was pretty good.
This is the original, by the way, not the newer one.
Yeah, we didn't watch the new one.
That new one, I feel like it would fuck me up. I hear good things, though. I'm sure it's a great film. With Elizabeth Moss?
Yeah, Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah. See, I remember that, but I don't remember the fucking film's name.
Well, with this movie, I mean, it had some, like, humor put into it, but remember the woman?
Yeah, it's trying to be funny. I don't know that it always.
I don't think it was supposed to be funny.
I don't know that it always succeeds at being funny, but like it's trying to be funny at any rate. It's not unfunny, I guess, but it's not like laugh out loud funny either. But there is definitely like a serious commentary here about like invisibility and its relationship to power. What would you do with that kind of power? Would it corrupt you or would it turn you crazy or whatever? I thought the act.
You know what? It reminds me of Hollow Man. I wish you had seen that. It has Kevin Bacon in it.
Hollow Man?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
This man, I think he gets stuff injected into him for like an experiment in this like warehouse or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but Kevin Bacon becomes invisible and he does bad stuff with it, like really bad stuff with becoming visible. You know, like the worst. Okay,
Kim. So now I have to look this up. But yeah, it was pretty decent. I didn't like I liked it more than I liked The Mummy, but I still Kim gave it like a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. Kim gave it like a 3.5. I gave it a 3. Just to talk about the other previous movies. Kim and I both gave Sinister a 4.5 and gave The Mummy a 3. But I think that was pretty implied as it was. Yeah. It won't take me to Rotten Tomatoes. This is very annoying. Either way, that was Invisible Man. The way they get him at the end is brutal if you think about it. All right. Time for Kim's favorite movie. So, once a year, we try to watch a clown movie because Kim hates clowns. And we only do one because Kim hates clowns, but we do one. This year, it was my pick. I wanted to pick Terrifier. Kim, you want to take this or should I take this first?
I hate you.
So, Kim barely watched this fucking film. She was so scared. It was so funny. She just had a terrible time.
It's because the whole movie, you can think of this movie and it could actually happen. And I hate movies like that. Until the end where something kind of like extraterrestrial kind of in
Supernatural.
A way. Supernatural, yeah. When that happened, I was like, okay, maybe this couldn't happen. But I hate this movie. I was busy cooking dinner during this movie because I did not want to watch this movie.
I was like, Kim, do you want me to pause it? You're like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
very gory.
The movie itself, incredibly gory. There is a vivisection. People are killed in horrible ways. The prosthetics and the not puppetry, but like the physical effects or whatever, the practical effects are really good. It is the movie's strongest point. Also, the guy who's playing Art the Clown is really good too. He's perfect. Yeah, he's really good. And everything else though, it's like the kills are brutal and Art is great, but everybody else feels like a cutout of a character, and they don't really feel like they belong there, except as a just to be killed. You could also tell this was on a very low budget, because they really went to 2 locations and that was it. They are making a sequel, which I will hopefully make Kim watch. But it was okay. I liked it. I liked it more than The Mummy, and I liked it more than Invisible Man. But
what did we give it?
A 3. We both gave it a 3. I think it's alright.
Why did I give it a 3?
Oh, you gave it a 2.
Oh.
You said that it had some merit, but overall you hated it because of the clown and because of the plausibility thing.
Next.
Any other thoughts, Kim?
I hate it. I hated the movie. It made me think too much after the movie.
Yeah.
And then just the creep factor, and it really killed me. I was scared throughout the whole movie. I had my eyes closed, covering my face, covering my eyes. At like one point, I was getting nauseous because I just couldn't take it anymore.
Wow. Did you tell me about that?
No.
Good communicator right here. Anyway, Terrifier. I don't even know her. All right, let's talk about Wolfman.
Good, sweetie.
Wolfman. We both gave this a 3. Another classic movie. I'm making it seem like we watched a lot of average movies. I mean, we did. We also watched a lot of good movies, though. We're getting to them soon. They'll start piling on. But this is another classic Universal movies picture type of movie. It was okay. The guy, we've talked about this before, the guy was a total creep, very pushy, didn't take no for an answer. It has not aged well in that regard, but I will say the practical effects with the Wolfman itself was pretty good. The plot itself was interesting. Yeah, I mean, the characters were okay. The set design was cool. I don't know, Kim, any thoughts?
This movie was just okay for me.
Yeah, just another kind of okay Universal picture.
It wasn't scary, and I mean, the scariest part of it was him being a creep.
Yeah, and again, probably because that plausibility, because that there are still people like that.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God. So yeah, Wolfman was another okay Universal Pictures. And look, again, it's not like we hate the classics. I think Kim and I both agree the classics have just not aged super well. I mean, they're coming on to 100 years at this point. It's been almost 100 years since some of these movies came out. They're gonna start aging poorly eventually. And there's a reason why they had such an effect on the movie industry and horrors and stuff. So it's not like we hate the classics, but just, it's tough for us to appreciate them. They move at a much more slower, methodical pace that I think is difficult for people from the 21st century to appreciate. Any other thoughts from you on Wolfman, Kim?
Nah, forgettable.
Forgettable. What isn't forgettable is somebody's mom having a date with a vampire. Kim, do you want to explain why this was on her list? Please, I'm all ears.
Oh my gosh, sweetie. This was my pick because it was my favorite when I was a kid, and it obviously didn't age well. Like most of my movies that I picked, they don't age well.
Kim and I both gave this a 2. I will say...
We actually gave it a 2.
We did.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, because it had some moments. The guy who plays the vampire is great. The relationship between Van Helsing and the little brother is also kind of cute and wholesome.
The whole thing, they're overacting.
But everything else sucked. And I don't mean that as a pun. Everything else sucked. The acting was terrible. Putting the aunt from Sabrina the Teenage Witch did not help. The way that they kill the vampire at the end sent me into hysterics. Do you remember that, Kim?
What did they do again?
They nailed the cop.
Oh, yeah.
They nailed the... I don't care about spoilers. Spoilers for Mom's Got to Deal with a Vampire. What are you even doing?
It's a Disney movie,
It's a Disney movie. Come on. They don't want to kill the guy because it's a Disney Channel movie. So they nail him shut in his coffin with, what? Some nails?
A nail gun.
A nail gun. A fucking nail gun. This was the stupidest shit I'd ever seen in my life. What was a nail gun doing there? Did Van Helsing bring it in? I don't even think he brought it in. It doesn't matter. It's a really stupid movie. And you're constantly wondering why the vampire doesn't just kill the kids. And like they try to come up with reasons why he's not just immediately killing the kids. He's giving them chances. He's trying to be patient. But yeah, it just goes from one gag to another. It's just not fun. It's not funny. It's not that well done in terms of like special effects. The special effects are laughably bad, if I remember. The setup for it is not super bad. But yeah, it's not aged well either. So it's not just about the classics. It's just this movie has not aged well. Anything else, Kim, from you?
No, when I was a kid, this movie was rated R, but it was by accident, and that's why I thought it'd be a little even better because it's on Disney and it was rated R, but it was an accident and it was not good.
Yep.
Oh, and I had a crush on the kid in the movie, but that was when I was a kid, so it made sense. But yeah, anyway.
So next up is New Nightmare, which is Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Technically takes place outside of the Freddy Krueger franchise, but references it or is based upon it. I had already seen this movie and loved it. And I think I love it even more on a second watch. I think if it wasn't for the original, this would be the best. This would be the best movie in the franchise. It's really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I don't even like Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but this one was really good.
What don't you like about them?
When I was a kid, my stepfather had me watch it when I was 5. And there's a part where the hand was coming out of the water.
The bathtub, yeah.
And then I never took baths again.
That explains a lot.
But yeah. Hey, I take showers.
He's so cute with your pouty face. But anyway, I love this film. It has a scene that I really hyped up to Kim, and then I didn't even notice when it happened because it had been a while since I'd seen the film. And I think I either wasn't fully paying attention or I just wasn't sure if that was it. But yeah, anyway, Freddy Krueger gets punched, and it's very, very funny. It's one of the best horror scenes of all time, probably. I went into hysterics the first time I saw it, using that word again. I just went like bonkers when I saw it. It was just so funny to me. Because Freddy, Kim and I were talking about this, but Freddy is so different from Jason and Michael Myers in that he can be hurt outside the dream realm, and he is very much vulnerable to things. If you slam like a lamp over his head or something, like it will hurt. It'll go but Jason no sells it. He's like a fucking 80s or 90s wrestler. He doesn't sell that shit.
That's a good
Yeah, and similar to Michael Myers doesn't sell any of that either. We'll get to him later. But yeah, this was a great film. The special effects are amazing. The plot is really interesting. It's basically it's supposedly set in our world, and I had to explain this a few different ways to Kim because I was like getting lost in myself too. But it takes place in a world where the stuff with Freddy is just the movies, aka our world, and then brings Freddy into our world. And Freddy's technically not really Freddy. He's like some kind of mystical demon or something that looks like Freddy, talks like Freddy, and acts like Freddy. It is Freddy. It's just Freddy. But yeah, this was Wes Craven before Scream, and it's obvious that he really wanted to go in a very meta, more humor-based direction. I thought this was great. Kim, do you have any favorite scenes or anything?
I mean, not really. I can't really remember exactly, but I'm trying to think.
I think the finale is terrific. The entire part where they're basically in hell.
Yeah, that
through
part's
the
really
through the
good.
dungeon with all the flames and the water and the oven. There's this whole thing throughout the film about Hansel and Gretel that I thought was a really good metaphor. You even see Wes Craven in the film itself, which is great. It's just a great movie. It's just a terrific movie. If you like the Nightmare franchise and you haven't seen this, go and see it, because besides Dream Warriors and the original, there ain't much skin in the bone in terms of this franchise. I know some people like to defend the sequel or get mad at the sequel, depending on how you feel, but yeah.
I just really liked it because the concept was really...
It's a very high level concept, especially for a horror film, and especially in the 90s when Scream hadn't come out yet and really broken those barriers for horror. So yeah, it's a great one. Obviously, we gave it a 4.5. Both of us, pretty close to perfect. There were some like slow moments or like some things they did a couple times too many, but like it's super nitpicking, super nitpicking. All right, let's talk about Jason X. Boy, this was my pick, and I'm going to take full responsibility for this one. This sucked. I thought it was going to be funny bad. It's just bad. It's so boring. All the characters suck. There's so many bad lines. The characters are there just to die. There's one cool kill, and that's it. And that's it. And there's nothing else in this film. I really thought this was going to age a little better. In terms of like being so bad, it was good.
Well, was this the movie where they were in space?
Yes.
And I remember there was a part that I really liked where he was stuck inside a video game.
Yeah, he was so there is a cool callback where he's stuck in a simulation and he starts beating up camp counselors, and they do that to keep him busy. That's a cool moment and a smart callback. But, I mean, besides those two little glimmers of hope, there's nothing this film really has going for it, unless you have something else.
No. I mean, it didn't scare me at all.
It was so boring. It was so boring. Like, unbelievably boring. I wasn't even paying attention to it most of the time. It was so bad. I don't have a ton to say here. Avoid this movie at all costs. It was terrible. I'd still watch it over some of the movies on our list. Like Trolls 2.
Oh my god.
I would watch Jason X over Trolls 2 any day. So we watched this movie knowing that it would be bad, right? I picked it because I knew it would be bad. I can't even begin. We gave it a 0. I think this is our first ever 0, but we gave it a 0. It is so bad. I would rather watch Ernest Scared Stupid, because at least Ernest Scared Stupid had the cool prosthetics. This fucking film has nothing. The actors suck. The plot sucks. The special effects suck. Prosthetics suck. The music sucks. Everything in this fucking film sucks, and it's boring and it's bad. And it's like, I know there's a lot of people who love this film because it's so bad it's good, and that's why we watched it. I will never watch this film again unless it's with like a bunch of friends and like some special stuff is in. No, I'm kidding. I don't do that. But like seriously, I would only watch this again if like me and a few friends are watching it and like doing it MST3K style. I would otherwise never watch it.
When I was a kid, once again, my stepfather had me watch a certain part where they're running through the woods, and that's the only part I can remember. But that it scared me when I was a kid. But obviously it would. But now it's just so dumb.
And at one point, the kid brings out, he just pisses over their dinner. He just and I'm not even kidding. And he's like, I have no choice. I have to do this. And he like starts unzipping his pants. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck movie is this? And then it cuts away. And then the parents and the family are just perturbed that the kid pissed on all of their stuff. Like, what? That was the only thing you could think of, writers, that he pissed on their dinner? I don't know. This movie was so bad. And yes, I loved the scene where it's like, oh my god, they're eating him. Now they're going to eat me. Oh my god. And like, that's a great scene, but I mean, like, everything else is just terrible. And that scene's only great because it's iconic. There's like a fly on his face, and it's just so bad. Kim, anything else?
No, it was just really weird. Like the whole green food thing was really
Green
weird.
food thing was weird. Didn't they pick up on that? Everything was green. That was kind of weird.
Like, how would you not know that if you're eating green food that just the food is not normally green? Why would you? I don't know.
It's not St. Patrick's Day, y'all. This ain't green sugar cookies.
Oh, that sounds good.
You are cursed. Let's talk about Curse of Chucky.
That's next?
Yeah.
Ooh, this is a good movie.
So I am now a fan of the Chucky franchise.
Oh, we're gonna watch a series, right?
Yes, we are going to watch a series. Maybe we'll do a review on that or something if Kim wants to.
Yeah.
But I saw Child's Play and I thought it was so stupid. I think I gave it a 2 out of 5 or something. Thought it was so stupid. I thought Chucky wasn't intimidating at all. I thought that it was just really nonsense. He didn't come off as intimidating. The special effects sucks. There were some lines that I think didn't age super well. It just was not very good. There were some moments I think I remember liking, but overall, not a good film. These two movies, like, I want to say single-handedly, but two-handedly, reinvigorated me about this franchise. That Chucky can actually be intimidating, can actually be scary, and you can have resonant themes through Chucky. That is really impressive. Kim, these were Kim's picks, or are they both of ours picks?
I think they were both my picks because you picked Jason X and Trolls.
And yeah, okay, yeah. So Kim, why did you pick these two?
Well, I don't know. I enjoyed Child's Play when I was a kid. Once again, I was a kid. But
we're finding out a lot about Kim's childhood here today, y'all.
I remember watching Seed of Chucky and really enjoying that one. And I always had a fear of dolls and stuff like that. Because when I was a kid, I always had, like, my mom would buy me these little dolls. Like they're this tall and they have the eyes. And just not good. I don't know what they were called. They were like...
Sour Patch Kids?
No.
No, not Sour Patch Kids. My best friend kind of ones, or like the ones that...
No, they were just the ones that you put on shelves and they watch you.
Yeah, Elf on the Shelf.
No.
Well, yeah, that's the kind of toy that you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
Even though obviously you don't mean Elf on the Shelf.
But yeah, these movies were great.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to Cult in a second. But yeah, Curse is really great. It highlights a lot of issues with ableism. It does have a trope about lesbians that I'm really sick of, with the one older woman lesbian who's a manipulative person. I know that sounds really specific, but it is a trope because it's in Jessica Jones too. And so I don't understand why they keep doing this, but it's really frustrating. But that aside, and I also thought some of the movie was kind of slow. I forget any other issues I had with it, but I mean overall it was really well done. I gave it a 4. Kim gave it a 4.5. I liked Colt more, and we'll get to that in a second. But this was a great film, and it explored serious topics. The director himself is gay, which is great, so there is, but he is a gay man, not a gay woman. So, I mean, there's still some lack of perspective there from him. But at least, like, a lesbian was in the film, Can't say that about a lot of films, especially not in 2013, whenever this was. Excuse me. So, yeah, this was a great film. Chucky was actually intimidating. They did a lot of, like, not showing Chucky until, like, the last 30 minutes, which is good. That's how you should do it.
Yeah, we thought in the beginning that he was just gonna talk, like, as a doll.
Yeah.
But he became animated after that.
Yeah. The animation was really good. The sound design, sound effects, the practical effects, all really, really good. Classic voice acting from Chucky's voice actor, who's been there since the beginning, so always great stuff from him. And the main actress is great, and we'll talk about her more in a second. But yeah, anything else for Curse of Chucky?
No. Let's do the next one.
Cult of Chucky. This is a direct continuation, if you couldn't tell, of Curse, but it is set 4 years later. I believe all of the Chucky movies are, A, canon. Every single one of them is canon. All of them have happened. And B, set in the year that they are filmed. So this one, I think, takes place like 4 years later, 5 years later, whatever. And yeah, it's really fucking good. Like, it's even better than Curse. The horror is real. They have, like, really good examinations of mental health, more stuff about ableism. They have really cool character reveals. They have really good like continuity and
And can I say something?
yeah.
The title of the movie kind of confuses you, but I don't want to give it away or anything.
Yeah.
But
it's not what you think.
Yeah,
you think Cult of Chucky, you think one thing, it's not that thing. It's something entirely different. It's really good. It's a really good subversion. The way that they explain the main plot is very funny. And it's kind of just a throwaway line. Voodoo, but it's very good. This whole movie is terrific. The kills are great. The characters are great. Kim is admiring me right now, I think, or was just admiring me.
I always do.
Okay, gross. Kim, tell me about this movie. What'd you like about it?
I like the creativity, but honestly, this movie was kind of triggering for me. That's why I didn't rate it higher than Curse of Chucky, but
Totally fair.
yeah, it's set in an asylum, so.
Yeah, Kim's had some mental health issues in the past, as have I. We've both been in mental hospitals, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, mental hospital.
Sure. Yeah, we've both been in them before, so this wasn't super triggering for me, because that stuff happened when I was really young, and I had different experiences with Kim because I was a boy then and living as a cisgendered male. So very different experiences for me, obviously. But yeah, I hadn't even thought about that, so yeah, totally reasonable. This movie absolutely can be triggering for people who have dealt with mental asylums. I will say they treat people in mental asylums or mental hospitals with a lot of respect and a lot of good perspective on why they are the way they are. So yeah, shout outs to the director for doing a really good job there.
Well, except the whole director of the asylum being a complete creep. I don't want to give it away, but I'm just saying.
I mean, I honestly don't think that's unusual or a bad move from the director. I think that's a thing that definitely could happen.
Well, yeah, definitely.
I don't think it's unrealistic, and it doesn't paint anyone in a bad light except the people up top, which I'm fine with. Yeah. All right, so that's the Chucky movies.
What's the next one, sweetie? Oh no, is it?
No. I've got the story to tell. We watched a movie and it was hell. That was terrible. I was trying.
My Lucky Charms.
I was trying an Irish accent. Kim thankfully saved me by being worse. I was trying an Irish accent, but it sounded Italian. I'm sorry. This movie fucking sucks. I don't even want to talk about it that much. There's transphobic jokes that are really, really bad. There's transphobia all over the fucking place. A lot of the jokes were stupid. I liked this movie in the first 30 minutes or so. Not so bad it's good way. And I expected it to be racially insensitive, which it is, but the transphobia is so horrible. I don't want to say too much because it's probably triggering to someone watching this. It's incredibly bad. Don't watch this film. Maybe watch a couple clips. There are some clips that are funny. I actually legitimately laughed a couple times in this film. But it's just bad. It's hateful. It's unnecessary. There are small moments in the film that I really like, but they are completely outweighed by how transphobic it is. And it not only is transphobic in one scene, but it doubles it down later in the film. At which point I threw up my hands and I was like, yeah, fuck this film. So that's all I have to say about it.
I have nothing to say about it. It was horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. Black Swan was not horrible.
It's my favorite movie.
Kim, you want to take this?
Yeah, this is my favorite movie.
Spoilers. I'm kidding.
So there's a lot of stuff in this movie that I can relate to as far as like eating disorders and stuff like that. But the movie is just great. I don't even know how to explain it. I watched Center Stage when I was a kid because I wanted to be in the movie so bad. I was a dancer when I was a kid, like 13 years old, and then I got hurt. But in this movie, it's all about dancing and
ballet specifically.
Yeah, ballet and what it can do to you, it can really do some damage to you.
Notably a lot of ballet dancers, not a lot, but some big names came out after this movie was released and came after it for like being egregious and being extreme in its depiction of ballet, and I'm like, I think the reason you think that is because you yourself are incredibly entrenched in the ballet world and you don't see how destructive this can be and the pressures that people are put under. So that doesn't surprise me that people from the ballet world might not like this film. Yes, it does take an extreme. It does take someone who's very obsessed with being the best and a perfectionist. That doesn't mean that's everybody in the ballet world, but that's the whole fucking point of the film, is that it's about a perfectionist who just lets her goals consume her and devour her, really, and take her over as a person. The horror elements here are questionable in terms of like genre and categorizing. When I said I really wanted to watch this, I looked it up. I was like, is that a horror film? It has horror elements. You could definitely argue that this isn't a horror film, so,
It could definitely be like a thriller, right?
Yeah, it could be a fantasy thriller, but just like a really messed up fantasy.
But it has like a whole like family dilemma too in it.
Yeah, there's really messed up family dynamics. Honestly, the acting from Portman's amazing. It shows that it showed at the time that she could really do great work if she had a great director and a great script. People, thought when they saw her in Star Wars that she couldn't act or whatever. No, the scripts just sucked. Like Hayden Christensen, Ian McGregor, Natalie Portman. These people are like very good actors. Sorry, don't even let me go on a rant about the prequels. But anyways, it's just like the script sucked. But the script here is so strong. It's tight. It gets its point across very well. Again, there are men who are creeps. We've got a lot of horror films this year, I just realized, where men are creeps. And unfortunately still very relevant, and especially when they're in positions of power. Another film where that's the case. So just, be on the watch out if that's a trigger for you. But this film was terrific, and I super recommend it. It's in my top 3 spoilers.
It's my top 3 too.
Yeah, and we both loved it. 4.5 out of 5. Cold to Chucky, by the way, got a 4.5 from me and Kim. And yeah. Oh, and Leprechaun in the Hood got our second 0 because transphobia. That's a 0. It's a 0 from me, pal. All right, Black Swan was great, and glad to be talking about it. And I'm gonna move over to Frankenweenie.
What did I rate this one?
You said it was a 4. I said it was a 3.5.
Yeah, this movie was really sad for me because like animal death to me is like the worst thing ever.
And I work with dogs.
Any person in the world could die in a movie. I wouldn't care. But if it's a dog or a cat,
I could die in a film, and Kim would go,
Yeah, I mean,
whatever. I dated her for 4 years.
I mean, she's got a hit out on me anyway. So.
Right. We don't need to talk about Fred.
That's the worst. No one's gonna get this.
No one's gonna get this joke. Which, to be clear, it is a joke. Or is it? But yeah, Frankenweenie had really cool stop animation. It's by Tim Burton, which, works with some questionable people. But not in this film, at least. I was very worried that certain questionable people who are very heavily canceled would be involved. But they are not, which is great. It's some people that he's worked with before, but for the most part, it's new faces, new actors. It doesn't matter anyway because it's animated as much. Doesn't matter as much, I should say. It was cute. It was fun. It was cute. It was originally a live action short film, one of Tim Burton's first films. It really kind of shows. I don't really know how much this needed to be a full film, but it's not bad. It's good. It's well acted. It's well written. There's some funny lines. I would watch it again if I had a gun pointed at me, told me to watch it again. It wasn't bad. I wouldn't go out of my way to rewatch it either. But it was good. I thought it was cute at times and definitely charming. I think kids will appreciate this more than Kim and I did, but it's cute. Kim, anything else?
Not really. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. It kind of reminds me like all the other tropes, like this. You bring a dog back to life kind of thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's called Frankenweenie. It's like Frankenstein.
Yeah, I know, but I've seen a lot of movies where they try to bring back the dog or...
Right, Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
Well, that's a cat, isn't it?
I don't know. I've never seen Pet Sematary, but I'm talking about, what's that movie called? Fluke.
Fluke?
Yeah. That dog, the dog didn't come back to life. It was the dad who died, and they got put into the dog. It was, anyways, backwards, but yeah.
Oh, so it was like Shaggy Dog with Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Wow, talking about Shaggy Dog is not a thing I thought I'd be doing today on Wednesday. On this Wednesday night.
Wasn't that a bad movie?
I don't know. Probably wasn't very good. I think I liked it when I was a kid, but I only liked it really because of the dog.
Last movie.
All right, last movie. That was Frankenweenie. It was okay. It was a little better than okay, mostly because of the animation. Last one. 28 days later.
What did I rate this?
We both gave it a 3.5.
I mean, it wasn't that bad.
It was okay. It was a little better than okay. Not quite great. So 3.5.
It's kind of slow, though.
It was very slow. That was the big problem for both Kim and I. There were just too many slow moments. And I like the slice of life stuff with all the characters. You know what interested me the most about this film? And I'm asking this is a rhetorical question because Kim knows and the audience can't answer. But the production of it. How the fuck did they get London so empty? Well, it turns out that they basically, 28 days later, by the way, zombie film, so the world's all fucked up and streets are empty. So they basically cleared off some streets of London and for like 15 minutes at a time, 30 minutes at a time, some like minuscule amounts of time, basically, really early in the morning when nobody was around. And that's how they got a lot of their shots.
Yeah.
And they did the same with the highways and blah, blah, blah. That stuff was so impressive, so cool. It really added to the atmosphere, really helped me buy into that world more. Then the second half kind of goes like a political commentary on like how fucked up the military is and like how fucked up patriarchy is.
Yeah, that was messed up. That's when that stuff happened in the second half, I didn't even want to watch it anymore.
Yeah, I was confused why that started. It's not a bad commentary. I mean, the people who are the bad guys are the bad guys, but it kind of felt out of left field. I didn't really understand why we were doing this. I don't know. It felt like the director really wanted to make two movies and decided to put them together. And, yeah, I don't know. It was okay, though, and the actors were good, and...
Yeah, Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy's terrific. Bless that man. Protect that man at all costs. Great actor. Great actor. Breakfast from Pluto. Check that out. He's great in it.
He was in The Red Eye, too. That was a good movie.
Yeah, he's also in Batman Begins. Anything else, Kim?
Oh, Girl with Pearl Earring.
Fuck. I was really hoping you didn't have another one, because I don't have another one. Damn it. So 3.5 out of 5. Okay film. I won't be watching it again, probably, but it was fine. Decent diversity, too.
We're going to watch the next one, though, right?
28 weeks later?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're planning on watching that next year, I think.
I wonder if it had the same people in it.
Spoiler. It does not. Spoilers. All right. Let's talk about some bonus content here. Bonus content. Ooh. Halloween Kills. Yeah. This felt like... Kim and I saw this pretty much the day it came out.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we saw it opening
day before.
The day before it came out. Fuck me. Some kids were in the fucking theater and they would not shut the hell up. And
they were laughing and having a blast.
They were laughing. I'm like, what are you laughing about? People are getting killed. Anyway, this movie kind of not great. I'm a huge Halloween fan. It's probably my favorite franchise and it doesn't even deserve to be honest. But I love Michael Myers. Come here, Michael. Give me a hug. Big fan. Please don't kill me. I love this movie. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I love the whole idea of just being pure evil and like keeping it very simple in terms of the motivation. But this film just felt so unnecessary. The first 15, 20 minutes you could have cut. There's another section with a hospital patient that you could have cut. This movie easily could have been an hour and 30 minutes, and it would have been a little better. It still, I think, would have just been okay for me. But, like, yeah, it really struggled to get me invested. Immediately, I was like, why are we doing this? Why are we hanging out with these characters? What does this matter? And then they were like, oh, now we're going to introduce all these characters who were but like B-side characters in the original 40 years ago. I'm like, why? Who cares?
Some of it was based in a hospital, so I kept thinking about the pandemic. And, like, you'll see it. If you see the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But...
there's some political commentary, too, about mob justice that I think is bad. And it really just frustrates me the way they wrote it. There's also some stuff about mental health that I don't appreciate.
And remember with the gay couple?
Yeah. It's a tricky thing, right? Because you want inclusion in these movies. And you want... I guess you want everybody to be killed, right, in a horror film, right? You don't just want, like, straight... people to get dismembered. You want everybody to be dismembered. It's gonna be so bad out of context. But like the way that they very viciously and purposefully and artistically killed the gay couple just seemed unnecessary to me. It just hit me the wrong way. And I don't know how to explain it. I'm not saying, like, you shouldn't have gay people in horror films. But it just feels like the brutality to which they were subjected to just felt unnecessary. But I don't know. I struggle to be like, okay, then what should Michael have just slit their throat and then that been it? I don't know. But it just felt like they were comedic because they were gay. They're funny because they're gay. And I genuinely like them as characters, and then they just get fucking toasted. So, I don't know. Kim, any thoughts from you on this film? I know I've gone on for a while. Passionate.
A lot of the kills are just over the top. Like, there was one that was... I want to just tell you, but I can't. But,
which one is the one at the staircase?
With the light.
With the light.
Remember?
The light?
I think of Nick Gage. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was over the top.
The light tube. Yeah. Yeah, some of the kills are a bit too much. They go on too long. I do think the kills are brutal and
yeah, the one at the end with the kid was brutal.
Yeah. And there's a surprise kill at the end that is interesting. I did not see that coming. But it's the most important plot point, and it's saved to literally the last 5 seconds of the fucking film. So, I don't know. It's just kind of a waste of time. Go to see it if you really want some brutal kills. But otherwise... And some cinematography is really cool. When Michael Myers... They've already shown it and given it away in the trailers. They give away a lot in the trailers. But, like, with Michael, like, running out of the house... Oh, not running out, but as he's, like, slow-mo walking out of the house with, like, the flames coming behind him. Like, mwah. Like, chef's kiss. Very good. Some of the cinematography is excellent. Most of the film is not. Technically, we watched Candyman before Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Whoops. But anyway, here's Candyman. Kim. I've talked too much.
It's okay. I'm kind of like in a tired mood right now. You know what I noticed? I talk with my hands a lot.
You do. You're Italian.
Anyway, Candyman I thought was okay, but very artsy kills. I was confused through some of it, but I'm usually confused. So
I don't think that's your fault. I think the film was obtuse in some ways that didn't need to be.
Some of the deaths, were very bloody, very gory, but I was just confused through probably the end of the movie, and I thought the original movie, wasn't very good, but this movie is slightly better. So.
Yeah, I had high hopes for this. I don't know. It's just like I really wanted to like this film. I don't really like the original Candyman either. We've talked about it before. I didn't think that was that great either. The guy who plays Candyman's excellent. But they don't even give Candyman, who returns to reprise his role, if I remember correctly, they don't even give him a line. I don't think he says a damn thing in the whole film. He doesn't say, or be my victim or something. He doesn't say anything. He just stands there. I don't know. It's really frustrating. It's a waste of his talent. There is some good commentary on white supremacy, but honestly, a lot of it just feels like we've already heard the same message from people who've done it better before. And I hate saying that. I really hate saying that. This movie had a lot of promise. The trailers were really cool. But the film just feels like a waste of time. And the thing about the end, I won't spoil the end, but the way that they handle the ending feels very kind of forced, and I don't know. Like, I'm a white person, right? So I have a tough time, like, coming out full sail and saying it's bad or whatever. It's not bad. It's not that I couldn't say it's bad. It's just that I have a tough time, like, putting myself at the center of the conversation here in terms of, like, what went wrong. Because I don't know. And it's not really my position as a white person to, like, say, oh, here's what could have been done better, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure there are things that could have been done better, but I'm glad a film like this exists, but I just don't think it was done very well. It's still better than the original, which I don't think was very good. But I don't know. Like, maybe it's just the source material. Maybe it's just like this is such a cool concept, but it's just not being done correctly. I don't know. Regardless, Candyman, the new one, was just okay. And a bit of a disappointment, to be honest. A letdown, for sure. And that's it.
But we have to say our movies. Right?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, and that's it for our 2021 films. But thank you, Kim. Yeah. That's it for our 2021 films. As Kim, of course, helpfully pointed out, and not annoying at all, we have more films in 2022. Just kidding, sweetie. I love you. Please don't hate me. We have more films coming in 2022. And like we did last year, Kim's going to read one, I'm going to read one, blah, 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 blah.
You should start because you start.
Yeah. So I picked one, and then Kim picked one, and then we both picked the last one. All right. Lake Mungo.
I picked Misery.
1408.
Doctor Sleep.
Yep. Werewolf Cop.
Monster House.
Monster Squad.
Ready or Not.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. The original.
Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
Dawn of the Dead.
A Girl Walks Alone at Night.
The Birds.
The Shallows.
Blair Witch Project.
I'm excited for these.
This is a interesting mix of films. We've got a lot of different things going on here. We've got a lot of Stephen King next year coming up. We've got some silliness from Werewolf Cop. I heard about that film and I was like, I need that in my life. I Know What You Did Last Summer is a long time coming for Kim and I because we make that fucking joke all the time. I say, I know what you did. And she'll be like, last summer. And I'll be like, no, not last summer, you fucking dingus. Anyway, Dawn of the Dead, I'm excited. We've already watched the original, what is the, Night of the Living Dead. So we're watching the sequel, the original Dawn of the Dead.
I'm excited for Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
That's going to be a banger, of course. A Girl Walks Alone at Night I've been wanting to watch for a while. And The Shallows is our first shark movie. So we're hoping to introduce more over the years. Yeah, Monster Squad is a movie that my friend Seb really likes, so I've been wanting to watch that. The Birds is a classic, so gotta watch that.
Anything else?
And that's it. If you've made it this far through 50 plus minutes of us rambling about this shit, then thank you. Thank you so much. Kim and I really appreciate it. I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say, and I don't think Kim does either. And I'm gonna no! Damn it! Oh, see you all next year. I'm gonna kill Kim. Kim, call him Fred.